As the 20th century comes to a close, the impact of new technologies becomes more pronounced, but less well understood. Digital audio and video, cabled and wireless communications, intelligent networks, and the integration of these with computers will have impacts at least as great as the invention of automobiles, electric lights, recordings, and movies at the close of the 19th century. CulTech is a new Canadian centre for developing and understanding processes and technologies relating to communications and culture.
Technology is advancing at a very rapid pace, and with each innovation in technology comes tremendous creative opportunity. I think we look at each one of those innovations separately, whether it's high-definition television or whatever it is, and we say, what opportunity is there here for us in a creative sense?
Understanding the interaction between emerging technology and evolving social and business needs is becoming crucial. We may be now where Western Union was at when the telegraph emerged into the telephone.
We have to keep in touch with what business needs, what customers want, what the public wants, if we're going to make sure that we utilize the technology in a meaningful way for the future. It's very important because if we in Canada don't do this, we can be very sure that it's going to happen on a global basis.
CulTech allows universities, private industry, and governments to work together as partners to make Canada better prepared and more competitive for the next century. CulTech is a new kind of institution without walls. Experts across the country will participate in CulTech projects, and many locations will be telepresence together. Headquarters are at York University. Joy?
At York University, we're enthusiastic about our new partnership with CulTech. York facilities include an acoustic research laboratory and a new film and theater complex featuring industry-standard film and video production studios and a versatile black box theater. Other facilities include an interactive media lab, powerful computer systems, satellite links, fiber optic networks, and more.
CulTech bridges the gap between purely academic research and commercial development. New technologies will emerge from CulTech that will assist the record, film, television, and communications industries.
We are moving away from the world of print to the world of electronic books and electronic publications of all shapes, forms, and sizes. They will allow us to have live video. They will allow us to have animation. They will allow us to simulate objects, be able to ask the questions, what if?
There have been a great number of innovations in the film and television industry over the last few years. THX and Dolby Sound, IMAX and Omnimax films, high-definition television, computer-based editing, word processing for script writers, computer graphics and animation, pay TV, home satellite dishes, and so on. CulTech will bring all these issues into focus and pave the way for a new generation of filmmakers.
If you're looking at an ordinary film or television, this is basically the way you see the world. You try to build up an impression of it from little glimpses through a very tiny window. When you go to IMAX, this is what happens. You see everything, and the psychological impact is obviously a million times stronger.
Canada's IMAX and Omnimax films are seen throughout the world and set the standard for giant screen entertainment, illustrating the success that can come from a collaboration of experts, governments, and private industry. The quality of computer graphics has become so high that companies like Canada's Alias are redefining our expectations of realistic computer renderings. New television technology is fast approaching the image density of computer graphics.
High-definition television, or HD TV, has 10 times the amount of picture information as of conventional television. It also has 8 channels of CD-quality sound. The critical issue for North American consumers is whether or not to purchase HD TV and get the benefit of these new and exciting applications, or to maintain their existing television sets.
Canadians are also leaders in standard format television.
Here's how conventional television works. You invent a program in a box called an office, and then you go and recreate it in a big and expensive and artificial box called a studio. But we think differently. We think that direct is best, and that's why we've invented this device. It's our legacy to world broadcasting. With 1 or 2 connections to hydrants like these in 32 locations through the Chum City building, we can power up audio, video, sync, intercom, and lights.
Being a broadcaster, in the traditional sense, is no longer valid. That the stick, as it's called, the transmitter, that was once coveted and on which the big prices were laid, is no longer as important as it used to be, because there's so many methods of distribution now of the broadcast channels.
And what does all that mean to us? What does it mean to the CBC as a broadcaster? What does it mean to cable companies? What does it mean to the government, who is heavily subsidizing various areas of the cultural industries?
Communications networking is one of the hottest topics of the 90s, as hardware becomes both mobile and globally connected. Cellular phones, modems, and fax machines are already common. Innovations based on video and audio compression, digital radio and TV, voice synthesis and recognition, and optical networks will dominate the next decade.
In recent years, we've been shocked by the experience of the introduction of cellular technology, which has changed our old paradigm that communications took place over wires between fixed locations. Now we realize that communication takes place between people that are on the move.
You know, Ron, we know that picture phones never achieved the expected success because people were concerned about their privacy. Are you investigating privacy issues at all?
Yes, Paul, we are investigating privacy. What I've just done is to knock on Tom Milligan's office. He actually hears an electronic knocking from his workstation and can then acknowledge and say, yes, please come in. Hi, Tom, thanks for joining us. So we now have a 3-way conversation set up, which was done with Tom's permission. We didn't just barge right in.
Technology that enables groups of people to work together is an important part of CulTech's work. City planners are also very concerned about how people will work together and how they'll communicate in the future, because they need to plan for expected growth. For example, in North America, the full-time job market has been slowly declining, whereas a new group of individuals working out of the home and empowered by new technologies like fax has been rapidly expanding. We need to understand the underlying human factors so we can manage these changes intelligently.
D'un côté, nous planifions des grands parcs de nouvelles technologies en périphérie. De l'autre, nous travaillons sur comment avoir un centre-ville agréable à vivre, mais le lien entre les deux n'est pas fait. Or, tôt ou tard, nous allons devoir faire ce lien.
Virtual reality has opened up a whole new realm for architecture. One of the things which the computer enables us to do is to monitor in a very complex and detailed way many different futures and to understand the impacts and understand, in a sense, what we will be doing to our cities with certain moves employing certain technologies.
Architects haven't been very successful at designing modern concert halls with great sound qualities. In the future, designers will incorporate electronic systems that will tailor a room's acoustics and produce excellent sound for all types of program material. Here at York University's Acoustic Laboratory, we have just such an experimental facility.
The walls and ceiling of this room have been transformed into an acoustically responsive environment.
Pretty dead, eh? Let's try a concert hall setting, okay? That's much better. Okay, May? The few Japanese corporations who imposed the MIDI digital music standard reaped the lion's share of the worldwide market for electronic musical instruments. This new market grew from 0 to over $1 billion a year in just 5 years. MIDI technology allows creators to compose and perform their works using small computers and electronic instruments, and to connect them regardless of manufacturer or model.
The potential of electronic instruments is vast and limited only by the imagination. I feel strongly that MIDI offers a valuable extension to the skills that constitute solid musicianship, and is not a replacement for them.
You know, Albert Einstein and Yehudi Menuhin had more in common than just playing the violin. They were both creative thinkers who approached their tasks with intuitive, nonlinear leaps of imagination. It's time to reevaluate the artificial boundary between arts and sciences and understand what legislators the world over have long recognized. People who create intellectual property, that's copyrights and patents, contribute materially to our society in the same way, whether they're creating a new microchip or a dramatic script.
There will be a concert in Prague, which will be heard in Australia, New Zealand, the United States, and Canada. We're going to have to develop legal institutions to enable the creator of the work which is being transmitted to be recompensed.
We're in the intellectual property business. We have been for years. We sell intellectual property around the world. We sell ideas. We don't sell bits of tape. We don't sell CDs. We sell what's on them.
CulTech has the support of individuals, companies, institutions, and governments.
CulTech represents an excellent opportunity in Canada to bring together people working on the technical side and people working on the cultural side.
I think that CulTech is a very important venture, and I'm pleased to see a university moving in this direction.
CulTech's strategy of enlisting partnership between academic, government, and private industry has increased awareness of the relationship between culture and technology.
The Interactive Media Lab at CulTech provides a unique opportunity for dancers, for filmmakers, for artists, for economists and computer scientists and archaeologists to work together on projects.
I believe the CBC, as an example, would like to work very closely with a center like with CulTech.
Through CulTech, we'll be able to offer seminars and workshops in which professionals in the industry are able to come back and receive this retraining on the new media.
Despite the financial hardships that Canadian companies and Canadian governments are facing, the timing of the CulTech Centre couldn't be better.
CulTech is absolutely essential. CulTech is in the tradition of Innes, Havelock, McLuhan, what I call the Toronto School of Communication. It's about time that our own people in government and in industry understood that we have been at it for years. We're passionate about this. We think Canada has a role to play, has played it in the past, and has a future role to play.
I think that any research that we can launch into this area that looks at the interaction between cultural needs, social needs, business needs, and communications and technology has got to have a big payoff.
And unless we have some institutions such as CulTech, we're going to be left behind in this country.
CulTech will take us on a journey into the future, opening new vistas and helping us determine where we should be going and how best to get there. The future is fast encroaching on the present, and it's very important that we understand the challenges, but also the opportunities, so we can live in a better tomorrow.